안녕하세요 여러분. I'm Valentine이라고 합니다. What's up everybody? I'm a Valentine here and welcome to Coffeehead. Welcome to Coffeehead. First episode of this little podcast. Starting on YouTube. It might go to other things later, but yeah, so I'm just gonna talk to y'all, and that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna talk to people. So just now, I'm here staring at myself in the mirror. My room is it's disgustingly a mess, and I'm in the middle of like this sort of peacefulness, but it's also like my gut is fucked up. I have had 2 frappuccinos today. There's just cream in my stomach, like heavy cream specifically. Like I feel it because I put sweet cream in the frappuccinos instead of normal cream, and I've gained a bunch of weight. I like can see it on myself, and like I was looking at my body in the mirror earlier and I was like, wow, I still look beautiful, yes, but I know that I'm not healthy. I am not in a healthy space physically and mentally, just dealing with a lot of overwhelm and stress. So much going on with just where I live. I thought I was gonna be like moving, and you know, now I'm kind of in this pickle where I could potentially be fucking up my credit, and I just don't know what I'm doing. Like if you've been watching my YouTube videos, then you would know that I like got this studio and I was like, yeah, cool, I just gotta get this like deposit, and then I had like all these different jobs this summer, and like hours got cut in my other job, and it's just been a mess. And I don't really have a lot of close friends. Like I don't have any, like I don't have like a close friend group. Like I wouldn't say I have a best friend anymore. And I part of me feels like it's a good thing. And I saw something the other day that was talking about being set apart, like when you're set apart. And I just thought about it and I was like, you know, if I wasn't set apart this year, then I probably would have just been doing some stupid stuff to distract myself from my stress and spending money that I don't have. And which is ironic for me coming from like spending like $400 this week on just like not having bought stuff, and then like finally eating food and like ordering groceries. That sounds crazy, but like, you know, when you're like trying to save and then you're like, okay, I just won't buy these groceries this time, and then like you finally are like, okay, fuck, let me just get these groceries. So me being like, okay, there's just all this mess with like saving and trying to figure out how much I'm saving and like all of this, and I'm like, well, I want to travel, and like all my dreams, old and new, like my new understanding of the way that money actually works, and the way that that kind of clashes with like the way that I saw my life going. And I've been having like this 22-year-old crisis. Like when I turned 22, I just had this like crashing, burning feeling like, oh my God, I'm not where I'm supposed to be, and I'm really, really an adult now. Like there's no firsts. There's no, oh, well, she's just 18. Oh, she's just a teenager. Oh, she's just 19. Like, oh, she's just 20. She's just still getting started. 21, I feel like, is the last year of, like, you can fuck up. And people are like, oh, she just barely, you know, was able to start drinking. But 22, you're in this. Like, you've been in here in adulthood. And I feel like I'm failing. Like, I have been feeling like such a failure so much. And it's really bad. What's ironic is that I've been so consistent with YouTube this year. I have not missed a week. And I am recording this, it's July 7th. And I have not missed a week. Not 1 week have I not posted so far this year. And I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful that I've prayed so much. I've actually prayed so much more this year. Like I've always been connected to God, or I feel like I have been connected to God in the sense of like my own personal connection with God since like 7th grade. And the reason why is because I just remember like listening to this speech And this guy was basically yelling about like something about how gay people was wrong. And I just remember like not liking that. Genuinely, like I wasn't meshing with that. And I was like, no, that doesn't sit well with me. But I mean, I kind of just went and was like, I don't think I really have to listen to someone else, particularly for them to tell me what God thinks. And I kind of went off into this little like space of like, no, I actually don't identify as anything right now. And then I kind of have been like, I was agnostic for a long time. I mean, I'm still technically agnostic. I was like finding little stuff here and there. So like I found Buddhism and then like a little bit of Hinduism and like now just kind of really discovering Christianity. And like I've been reading the Bible. Like I apparently have an 11-day streak. The Bible app like popped up just now and was like, you have an 11-day streak, do you want to keep it going? And I was like, 11 days? I'm like, damn, I've been diligent in this. Shit. Like, dang. And so as I'm reading though, I'm like, so am I Christian now? Like, do I identify as a Christian? That was a fucking, I hate these gnats. I was having some issues with my drain recently, and it's still just been a mess. It just adds to the disgustingness of the rest of my room, which is just disgusting. Thankfully, it's not like sandwiches on the floor disgusting, but it's just like a lot of things misplaced. I need to just take my trash out, put things where they need to be, put the clothes in the basket. Like, it could be worse, but it's not good. Like, there's Takis right here. You know what I'm saying? It shouldn't be that. There's also a lotion under the Takis and some socks or something beside it as well. Like, this is not supposed to be here, you know what I'm saying? But what was I saying actually? Oh yeah, I'm trying to figure out like, what am I? What is my religion? Like, am I Muslim? Do I identify as Muslim? Do I identify as Buddhist? Do I identify as a Christian? Like, I don't know. I feel confused, and I feel like I should take my time. I feel like I shouldn't force myself into one thing. And me even saying that, just speaking from my own personal experience, before I got on here, I can't remember if I told you this at the beginning or if I was trying to like lead into this, but before I turned this on, I was, like I said, I was looking at myself and I was just kind of like, man, why haven't you been doing stuff? Like, you've wasted so much time. Not wasted time, but like, why have you been allowing yourself to not be diligent and creative and productive in your time when I could have been? I've had a lot of time off as of recent, and I'm like, why haven't you been doing that? Because I've been in bed. Like I said, I gained weight. I haven't been going to the gym, and I'm like, why haven't you done that? And I didn't really come to a final answer entirely yet, to be honest with you. Like, I don't have some cool, it was because of fear. Like, I don't have just that one thing, because it's actually complicated. It is complicated, and I can choose to look at all the little details, or I can just be like, no, it's because you chose not to have discipline. And like, yeah, I could do that too. But I know this. The voice in my head was like, something along the lines of, I didn't tell you to be a leader right now. I told you to talk to the people. And it's funny because the voice in my head has been saying that to me so much. Talk to people, talk to people. Anytime I think of something, it's like, I come to a realization, it's like, talk to the people. And I think it's so interesting for me to look at myself and just be like, why haven't you been doing this? And the voice in my head to be like, talk to the people. I just told you to talk to the people. And I think that it's funny because I put a lot of pressure on myself to make sure that I'm like really upstanding and like very positive, and I try to like do the right thing like all the time. Like, I really try like all the time, and sometimes I still just feel like I'm dumb. Like, I don't feel like I'm dumb about everything. I know I'm not an idiot. I know I deserve respect and kindness and care and all of that. And I don't tolerate disrespect. That's one thing I'm really good about. I'm really good about that. Because I know I'm not an idiot. But sometimes I feel like I lack knowledge on subjects that are important to me and necessary for me to do well in. Such as like understanding, like right now, right? I'm like, okay, I've always had these like travel dreams with YouTube even. I've always wanted to go places and like try this cool food and like meet cool people in new countries and, you know, have my team. We're like traveling, we're vlogging, and they're vlogging me, living my life, being successful and just having fun. And I've always wanted that. And I've gotten so on this whole like, I gotta open a cafe, I gotta serve the community, I've gotta like da. In the past couple years, even there's this thing in the Bible that I saw where it's like, you can't get the speck of wood or a speck out of your friend's eye when you have a log lodged in your own eye. And I very much so have a log lodged in my own eye. So I have been on this whole like trying to do right and speak in a way where when people listen to me, they can take something positive from me and apply something to their life in the way of like me telling them, this is what you should do, this is what you shouldn't do. Like being a sage is just someone who like knows, just someone who knows, right? But I don't know, fam. I mean, there's some things I do know, but I don't know everything. And a lot of times I feel like I'll have something down packed, like discipline, for example. There was this one point in this year where I was doing amazing with going to the gym. Like I was waking up at 5 a.m., 4:30 a.m., like more and more. And I was really pumped up because I was like gonna save all this money from this new job. I had waited all this time for this new job, and I was like preparing to make sure I had the energy just to keep it all together and make all this money and then make this move. And then as I made this move, just to keep going hard so I can keep saving or maybe even take a class or two or something like that. But it gave me options. And then when I got to this space, basically, it just wasn't what I expected. I'll put it like that. And it's like those little dreams that I built up for the year came crumbling down. And you know, as I think about this, I'm thinking of like the man plans and God laughs, right? And it's so funny because it's like, it's true. I was planning and God was like, ha ha ha. No. But yeah, it's taken a toll though. And I was watching this thing yesterday. There's a girl, I think her name's Deborah B. Same person I saw, she made like this video on how God gave her this apartment. And I was watching these different videos about like God gave these girls these apartments. And I'm like, that's so cool. Like, God, I need you to do that for me because I'm trying to move out of here, because where I currently live, I feel kind of bad for kind of speaking on some of the issues now, but it was the truth. It was the truth. It was my truth at the time. Currently, it's still my truth, but current living conditions, like the people that I live with, it's just made it uncomfortable for me. Like, I won't go into all the details, but it's just not comfortable and it's really not ideal. I mean, I make music and I'm 22 and I want to feel that sense of like freedom and independence. I almost said responsibility, but like I want to feel that sense of freedom and independence. So I want that freedom of like, yeah, I'm in my own space. Like if I'm making a song at 2 a.m., there's nobody that can hear me, nobody that can tell me no, there's nobody that's gonna disturb, and I'm a considerate individual, so like I try not to really be up late doing that anyways. But and what's funny is that I haven't been making music very much anyways, but it's just the freedom of knowing that I could, that's nice, right? And even when I had the space to myself, I wasn't making music that much either. But again, I want that freedom and I want that independence. I want the independence of like, yeah, I got this. I'm taking care of this. I got this. And to feel confident in that. But I haven't been feeling that, especially with just like so much decrease financially, so much decrease, so much decrease. Like it sucks. And I worked hard all last year. Ever since I read The Rich Man Babylon, I followed that plan of like, yo, you save 10%. I was doing that. And even now I think about it, actually, this past summer, I don't think I have been doing that just because of how little I've been making. But I probably still could have did that, but I kind of got off track. It's been messy, man. It's just been really messy. And yeah, it's still a mess. There's no cool, and it was all okay. Like, I'm not at that stage yet. I hope that you guys would want to continue to like see what's going on, and continue to be on this journey with me. That's what I would hope. And if you do want to see that, then definitely subscribe. But I really hope that soon I'll be able to like give some really cool news. Like, oh my God, I can't believe I doubted and was stressed and all depressed in bed for weeks when God had this for me. Like, I hope I can come to y'all and say that ASAP, you know? And at the same time, I Googled the word patience yesterday. I think it was yesterday. But I Googled the word patience. And because I knew, I thought to myself, I was like, I'm not being patient right now. And I'm like, I'm not being patient. And I remember at one point I prayed to God for patience. It was either earlier this year or last year, but I was like, what is the actual definition of patience? And so I looked it up, and it was, there's one of the disgusting gnats. There it is again. I'm sorry, I know that's so disgusting. It's like really disgusting. So it's one of those things where it's like, I don't really know what to do about it. Like, I hate the smell of apple cider vinegar. I think I'm gonna try to like clean my drains with something, like maybe like a bleach something, or I don't know if there's like a specific thing. I got off track. Patience, the definition of patience, and it said something like the ability to wait on something, and I'm paraphrasing and kind of fucking up the definition, but the ability to wait on something for a continuous or like undefined amount of time without, what was the word? Without annoyance or anxiety. Without annoyance or anxiety. Excuse me. So patience, just to squish it down, the ability to wait without annoyance or anxiety. And I think about all the anxiety that I've been having. And at the end of the day, I mean, I've been shown this before. I'm sure God will show me again. If God wants something for you, there's nothing that can take that away. Because God will find a way, okay? God will find a way, 100%. So there's people that talk about like the flow state or like going with the flow. Listen, God's flow, okay? God's plan, not your plan, ho. Sorry to say, ho, but sorry, but it's gonna be God's plan, all right? It is going to be God's plan. And so like, I don't know. It's like, it hurts though, you know? I can't lie, I have been annoyed, I've been angry, frustrated, extremely anxious. I've been in a depressed state, honestly. And most of the time I don't use that word. I don't use the D word, okay? I don't like the D word. I don't use the D word, depression, okay? I don't even fuck with that word, for real, okay? Just for myself. I'm not gonna be like, oh, you were telling me you're depressed. I'm not talking about like that. I'm saying for myself, I don't usually use the D word. But yeah, it's the truth. I've been down. I have not been trusting. I have not been as consistent as I could have been. Thankfully, I do listen to the voice in my head. So a few weeks back, the voice in my head was like, oh, I want you to make this amount of videos in this amount of time. And I did, and got on my schedule and all this. And then voice was like, hey, I want you to schedule these videos like this. So I was still set up to be consistent. Almost like the voice knew I would be down bad like this for the past few weeks. It had to. Also, speaking of the voice, I was waiting for the bus the other day, and I looked at the time that it was supposed to come there, and the bus still hadn't come, like 5 minutes after it was supposed to come. So I was like, can I sit down? Me to the voice in my head, like, can I sit down? It was like, yeah, you can. Sitting down. I'm thinking I have to wait another, like, 20-30 minutes till the next bus comes at, like, 2:15, something like that. I think it was, like, 2:52 or 2:57, something like that, whatever. I've been sitting down for, like, 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes. I don't know how long it was. Not too long. Not a lot of time. And I'm looking at my phone, and then the voice in my head goes, Alma, stand up. Stand up. It just says it once, but I can't remember if it said Alma or just stand up. And I was like, okay. I walked back over to the bus stop. I got to the bus stop, looked over, the bus was coming. I was like, whoa. I was like, whoa. So I was like, this shit is real as fuck, bro. Like, I think that's so interesting. How that happens sometimes. Like, I think it's so interesting. And anyways, that just is a sort of like more physical example of why I listen to the voice in my head, and it's proven so many times, which makes me think it's almost like some of the mistakes that I make are like, it feels like it's supposed to happen. And yeah, it's weird though. It is weird when it's like, I don't know. Anyways, it's just weird. It's weird. And yeah. So I'm hoping for the best. I really want to be extremely successful. I want to be a billionaire. And I want to get the log out of my eye. I want to get this log out of my eye. I want to work hard. This is what I'm thinking at the moment. I won't hold y'all for too much longer. Currently, what I'm thinking is stay where I'm at for a year, maybe 2. Hopefully not 4. Hopefully not 4 years. Stay consistent on the channel all throughout, working where I work. Potentially work 2 jobs. I found this other job that I might work at the same time. Work hard as usual. Give my best as usual. Because it doesn't matter where I'm at. It doesn't matter that I'm getting paid this amount and I feel like I should be getting this amount and I feel like I could do this job and It's not about that. It's about me giving my best where I'm at, being a blessing to the people around me, being somebody that, you know, people can appreciate, and being somebody that, you know, just is a good person, like a good person to be around. Like, I care about that. I'm not just gonna be shitty to people because they've been shitty to me. And that's another thing I was reading in the Bible today, where it was like, it's the golden rule. It's literally treat people how you want to be treated. And that's essentially what the concept was in the Bible. I can't quote it word for word just yet. I'm not there yet in my studies. I guess I've been studying 11 days. 11 days, okay? Me peeking in on what the Bible's chatting about. What's this saying? That's what I've been every day. What's this saying today? What are you chatting on today? Me peeking in. That's hilarious. But yeah. Also, I don't know what I was talking about at first, but I was telling my plan. Okay, so 2 things. 3, there's so many things actually. I might hold y'all for a good minute actually. I might have accidentally lied and said I wouldn't hold y'all for much longer. So current thoughts. Work hard, like I said, where I'm at. Save up like hella K's, right? And try to buy some units. Maybe like 4 units and rent them out. and try to make a monthly profit, or maybe do like Airbnb. Try to make profit from that. Do y'all see my nails growing? I've been like kind of taking care of them. I just stopped biting. That's crazy, right? Stopped biting them, started painting them. I'm actually like very grateful that they're growing. This is passive. Speaking of passive, let that do well while I'm still working. Get my Airbnbs going or whatever. Get that secured. You know, of course it will take some time of like having to meet tenants and do all that stuff or whatever that would take. I need to learn about how to run an LLC and like actually run a business, and not just what I think running a business is in my mind. Hyperventilating. Genuinely running out of breath here. Okay. Stress of just the thought alone. Yeah, so do that. And of course get that going well. Do it over and over again until the money I'm making from it is enough for me to stop working where I work and work for myself full time, you know? And of course, depending on where I'm at with like YouTube money and like music money and all this, there's so many like floating X factors that just overwhelm and confuse me, because like I'm still being super consistent with music. Like, no, I'm not putting out one song every single day. Well, who the fuck is, for one? But even with music, it's like I just put out a project like 7 days ago. I put it out on the 1st. So I put it out on midnight. So like the day before. So yeah. Spare the details. It came out on July 1st. Technically. Sort of. I put out another project. Okay. And yeah. The plan is still to stay consistent with music and keep doing that. And I put out some other songs like 3 months ago. A few months before that, same thing. I think 3 months before that, actually, the same thing. So still keeping that up. So there's a lot of floating factors and a lot of ways to bring in income. And you know what, now that I even think about that, this is gonna be really good. This is actually gonna be really good. Like, now that I actually think about that, as I say it out loud, there's something about what happens when I say it out loud. But if I really think about it, actually, like, this is gonna be great, because I have so many different ways to make this money, and it's gonna actually be awesome. Like, for real. Like, when I really, really think about it, like, that's a lot of different ways to make money. Rental property, music, YouTube. But it's hard for me to, like, when it comes to the focus and the purposeful consistency in the moment, I feel like I should be like a spider with 8 hands and make everything happen, even though I don't have a team, I don't have any legal backing, I don't have any person that's like pushing me. It's a fully self-motivated, self-motivated, fully self-push until it's not. And I know at some point it's not gonna be just me anymore on my team for me, of my personal image, my personal brand. I know it's not just gonna be me always, but until I can get there, I have to like stay trying. And it's like sometimes I get into these cycles, and those cycles have a down moment, and at the same time they also have a lot of highs. So let's keep riding this wave, homies. No, but the plan, I told y'all, the property thing. Yeah, make that money. And at first I was thinking, like, with all this money that I'll save if I stay where I'm at, I was like, maybe I should just travel. It's like, yeah, maybe I don't need to just go ahead and buy a house and all this. It's like, I don't need to be settling down, whatever. But I thought about it. I was like, wait a second. Like, I could make all this money, go travel for like a year or 2, maybe. We'll see. Spend it all after working for like 2 years or a year, whatever. 2 years it would have to be. And then have to go right back to work and do the same thing just to make that same amount of money. 2 years, and then be back at the same square, right? Or I could work this time right now, make that money, purchase property, let that make money. When I say let that make money, I mean get tenants, have the tenants pay a reasonable amount. What? A reasonable amount. Again, whatever. Pay a reasonable amount and make a profit, like a little off the top. You know what I'm saying? And as that grows, as that continues to pile up, and it pays back the debt, it pays back the mortgages and all of that, I can travel on that, and it's sustainable. So it's like, would I rather be, because I'm 22, and it made me realize, even as I was doing this math, I'm like, yo, I have time. Like, I'm young still. Like, yes, I thought that I would be a millionaire by the time I was 16. But still, I'm still young. So it's all time. It's not like I am 87 or 500 billion. You know what I mean? Like, there's always time. There's still time. It doesn't matter how old you are. There's always time. You can figure this out. 100% believe in you. 100% know that you can and will figure this out. As long as you keep trying. But yeah. I could be 22. I mean, I'm 22 now. So let's say I worked 2 years and saved up X amount of money to where I could buy like 2 houses or like 4 different units and whatever. And let's say that, cool, I rent out those units. And for the next 2 years, I'm working my normal job. Still just staying here or whatever. Either staying here or staying in one of my units, whichever one is cheaper, more cost effective as far as like the total price of commuting and getting where I need to go, whatever. Bills and all that. Whatever is the most cost effective, do that. By the way, I don't have a car, so that's an expense that's not there currently. Excuse me. Could do that. And by the time I'm 24, potentially be in the position to where if my units are making enough, then I could supplement my income, because I doubt that with 4 units I'd be making more than what I currently make at my job. But you get what I'm saying. Maybe by the time I'm 26, let's say, then I could potentially be making enough, because I would have bought the same amount of units, if not more, every year, depending on how much my credit really goes up. Wow, thinking about this is great. It's nice. It's nice in my head. And I know nothing's ever is perfect in real life. And of course, man, plans gotta last still. But, God, I just had this horrible thought of like, what if everything falls apart right now? Like, what if I really fucked up? What was I saying? Gosh. What was I saying? Oh, yeah. Dang, y'all. Sorry, y'all. Just got worried. But yeah. Buy all the units, whatever, can travel on that. Live on that, travel on that money that is actually sustainable. And I'll be making that every year and just continue to increase like that. Yeah, we'll see how it goes. We really will see. I'm gonna end it there. Cheers, y'all. This has been the first episode of Coffeehead, episode 1. Much love, y'all. See y'all on the next one. Subscribe. Bye.